All right, for the 2001 trx400, we got all his parts. We got the starter clutch right here. We got the new solenoid. We got the new kill switch, the new battery, got the stator, CDI box, the wire harness, the new starter, and we got the gasket kit. So next thing we're gonna do is start putting that top end back together. And then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I got the cylinder on. So the next thing I'm gonna do, the next step, is I'm gonna put the valve head on, the cylinder head. And then I'm gonna do the timing and put the cam in. And then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I got the cam and everything in. Got it timed perfectly. So the next thing I'm gonna do is put the cam cover on. Then we're gonna check the valve clearances. Then we're gonna go from there. All right, I got the cam cover back on. And as you can see, the valves is perfect. Slide through nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Gonna check the exhaust valves. They nice and smooth. All right, so the valves is perfect. So the next thing I'm gonna do is put the valve covers, the valve screws back in. And then we're gonna start with that wire harness, the electrical problem. The wire harness, the starter, the stator, and all that other good stuff. Then we're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, so the next thing I'm gonna change out is the starter. I'm gonna change out the starter clutch, the stator, and we're gonna go from there. So the first thing I gotta do is, take the starter out, and I'm gonna pull the stator cover off so we can switch out those old parts. And then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I took the old starter out. So the next thing I'm gonna do is take the stator cover off so we can start switching out the stator and the starter clutch. Then we'll go from there. All right, so we got the stator cover off. So next thing I'm gonna do is take this bolt off, then pull the flywheel off so we could change out that starter clutch. Well, the new flywheel and the starter clutch. Then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I got the flywheel off. So the next thing I'm gonna do is take the old starter clutch off, and I'm gonna replace it with the new one and put the new flywheel on. Then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I got the starter clutch off, and so now I'm gonna start putting the new one on, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, y'all, so I got that new starter clutch in there. Got that on with the flywheel, new flywheel. So the next thing I'm gonna swap out is the stator. I'm gonna take the old stator out and put the replacement stator in, which is a OEM stator. And this is like a Chinese stator. But then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I swapped out the stator. I put the OEM stator on, and this the old stator. So next thing I'm gonna do is put the gasket on and put the stator cover back on. Then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I got the stator cover back on there. I went ahead and threw the new starter on. So the next thing I'm gonna do is start swapping out the wire harness, the complete wire harness, and take off that Chinese CDI box. And then I'm gonna change this kill switch out. So that's what I'm gonna do, is change out everything, all the electrical wires and stuff, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I got the new wire harness on there. Got the new CDI box right there. Got everything swapped out. But one thing I noticed about the new battery I put on is that the battery is cracked. So I don't know, you know, how that happened. And this is the old battery. So I don't know if the owner dropped it, something like that. So yeah, this battery is definitely not gonna be no good. But next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if it has spark. And then we're gonna go from there. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna have to use the jump box once again because the new battery that he bought me is busted up. Somebody, you know, dropped it. But as you can see, the bike still don't have spark. I have to touch the spark plug. The bike still do not have spark at all. So one of the things that he didn't change out was the coil. As you can see, the coil is really rusty. So that's the last thing that it could be is the coil. The coil is bad because he replaced the stator, the wire harness, and the CDI box. So the last result is the coil.